Hello, friends and family. I'm Tom. My wife, Melissa, is behind the camera today. I am very happy that you have chosen to come sit at my table. Today, we are going to make really quick and easy 30-minute potato soup. Now, I will tell you that in Kentucky, in the middle of March, it should be kind of nice and sunny and starting to get warm. But not today. This week has been really gloomy, cloudy, and really cold. In fact, today's high is in the upper 30s. So, you know, when the temperatures are that low, what goes really well with cold temperatures for dinner? Potato soup. So today we're making potato soup. Now, I got this recipe about 12 years ago out of our local newspaper. And the recipe was put in the paper by a young lady named Donna Ferris Field. Donna attended the elementary school where Melissa and I, my wife and I, taught school for
a long time.
many, many years. And in fact, Donna's brother Gary was one of my students when he was in 5th grade. So this is a special recipe for me because it comes from Donna. This is what you're going to need to make really quick and easy 30-minute potato soup. And I'm going to tell you, you're not going to find a potato soup that's any better than this. It's amazing how delicious this is to be so quick. The first thing you're going to need is a 32-ounce bag of diced hash brown potatoes. And it tells you right down here that it's a 32-ounce bag. And you want to make sure that you get the diced hash brown potatoes. And they're in the frozen food section at your grocery store. I just buy them at Walmart or Kroger. You're also going to need at least a cup of diced onion. Now, I had this onion in the freezer. It was a bag of frozen onions that I had from a few months ago when we got a bag of Vidalia onions and couldn't use them all before they started to go bad. So I just diced them up and froze them, and I've taken those out. In fact, they are still frozen, but they will work really well. The next thing you're going to need is 4 cups of chicken broth. 4 cups is 32 ounces, so I'm using a 32-ounce box of chicken broth. If you don't want to use all chicken broth, if that's a little too strong for you, you can do 2 cups of chicken broth and 2 cups of water. But I'm going to tell you that we prefer all chicken broth. So just grab yourself a 32-ounce box, 4 cups of chicken broth, and use it. You're also going to need 3 cans of soup, a can of cream of celery, a can of cream of chicken, and a can of cheddar cheese. I have had a hard time recently finding the cheddar cheese soup, but I did find it at a grocery store in Lexington, about 30 minutes from us. So I bought several cans. I know they still make it because I found it, but if you can't find the cheddar cheese soup, you could always use another can of some other cream soup, another can of cream of chicken, cream of onion, cream of mushroom, whatever. But if you can find the cheddar cheese, make sure you use it because it really does give it a good cheesy flavor. You're also going to need, I'll grab this out of the refrigerator, you're going to need 2 cups of milk. Now, we use whole milk. We don't care for the 2% or the skim stuff. So 2 cups of milk. If you want to use heavy cream, you can. That would make it even thicker. But we think whole milk is really good in this. Then you're going to need 1 tablespoon of garlic salt. This is not garlic powder. You need garlic salt. That gives you the saltiness without having to add more salt. So 1 tablespoon of garlic salt. And then pepper to taste. Now, I'm going to use half a teaspoon today. I might add in a little more after I taste it and see what it tastes like, but I'm going to start with half a teaspoon. All right. It's amazing how easy this is. I'm going to turn my stove on and start my chicken broth. Now, I have already put my chicken broth in. So, I'm going to start that, and I'm going to dump in my onion and put in my potatoes. And I'm just going to dump those in and let those start to come to a simmer. Now, this is called 30-minute potato soup because you're going to simmer this. Look at that chunk of onion that's frozen. That will thaw and be just fine. This is called 30-minute potato soup because you're going to let this simmer for between 20 and 30 minutes. You want to get those potatoes thawed and make sure they're nice and soft. So we're going to bring this up to a simmer and let it start to cook those potatoes and onions. And when they are soft and ready, and normally I only let them go about 20 minutes. 20 minutes seems to be long enough. So when that has cooked for about 20 minutes, we'll come back. I'm going to go ahead and stir together the 3 cans of soup, the milk, the garlic salt, and the pepper. And after this has cooked for about 20 to 30 minutes, and I think it's ready, we will come back on the video and finish making the soup, and I'll get to taste it. Melissa might taste it too. We'll see. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Our potatoes and onions have been cooking for about 20 minutes or so, maybe a little more, and they are soft and ready to eat. And I have stirred up the milk, 3 cans of soup, garlic salt, and pepper. We're just going to stir this into the soup, and then we will add our toppings. Now, once we stir this in, we will need to let it come back up to temperature. But that won't take long. That will happen real fast. And you know, I have to scrape every bit of this out of there. I don't want to miss a bite. Food is money. We don't want to waste it. Okay. And now we'll just stir that together. Doesn't that look delicious?
It smells really good too.
Yes, it does. And it is so quick and easy. One of the easiest potato soups I've ever made, and it is so good. You know, before we planned to do this evening, I did contact Donna Field. She lives in Texas now, a long way from Kentucky. She told me that they've been there about 12 years and that it now feels like home. But I can remember when Donna was in 5th grade at the school where we taught, and I certainly remember her brother being in my classroom. He was such a good kid. I always enjoyed him. So this soup has some good memories for me because of where it came from. And I sure do appreciate Donna sharing her recipe and allowing me to share it with you. This makes a pretty good sized pot of soup. I would say that it would easily feed, what do you think, 6 people?
Oh yes, definitely.
8 people maybe. It's a good sized pot of soup. So let me grab a bowl and a ladle. Grab the ladle out of my caddy here. And first we want to make sure that it's heated through. I believe it is. I see it bubbling. Now, we like to serve this by topping it with some pieces of hot bacon. We just crumble up bacon, and I actually bake our bacon. We don't fry it. Frying bacon makes a mess on the stove. So I just put strips of bacon on a sheet pan and bake it in the oven. And then we just keep that in our refrigerator so that when we want some bacon for breakfast, or if we do breakfast for dinner, we can just take out as much bacon as we want, heat it in the microwave, and it's ready. So we just took a couple of pieces of bacon out and heated those, crumbled them up and heated them to put on top. And we will add some cheddar cheese. Okay, I'm going to turn our fire off. We'll add some shredded cheddar, and it will be ready to eat. Now, if you want to serve something with this, the thing to put with it, as far as I'm concerned, is homemade cornbread. But you can also put sandwiches with it. Hot ham and cheese sandwich or a grilled cheese is really good. So I'm just going to, let's put it all. Top that with our bacon. And some of our shredded cheddar. That cheddar will get soft and melt real fast. We still have out our winter tea towels. And this one says, "Let it snow." You know, really, you shouldn't have to be using one of those in March.
But it snowed today.
But when we got up this morning and went out to get in our vehicles, we had vehicles that were covered with snow. So here we are, March 14th, which is actually my mom's birthday. My mom's been gone for 8 years. It'll be 8 years next month. But March 14th will forever be a special day for me. Do you want a bite?
I'll take a bite in a minute. I'll have to be a little more in control before I can manage a hot soup.
It is hot. I can see the steam coming off of it. I have cheese on me. You know it's good cheese when it strings down your chin. Somebody in our last video commented and said, Tom needs a t-shirt that says, "That is so good." And honestly, until I read that comment, I didn't realize, but I think I say that in every video. But I'm going to tell you something. This is so good. That is so good. That really is delicious. You can't get any easier than that. And it's really good potato soup. I can't imagine potato soup ever being easier than that. And that's as good as any I've ever eaten. All right. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Thank you for the nice comments. We really do appreciate that you stop by and watch the videos that we post. And we want to remind you that you are always welcome to come sit at my table. Have a great day.